Okay, we're live. All right, welcome to Bangin' Bars podcast. This is our first episode, our maiden voyage. Welcome from Studio A, coming from the United Kingdom, the great country of England. That's where we are filming out of today. We're talking about almost everything of BMX racing, but we get into other things. All right, we want to look at the latest race results, the gear, things that are changing the game, your track operators, everything. I'm your host, Tony Tomasi, and we've got a pretty good episode, I think. We'll find out today. Before we dive into that, we want to discuss a couple things. One thing, the Bangin' Bars podcast, we're looking for guests. All right. We want racers, industry insiders for the podcast. If it involves handlebars, pedals, and wheels, we want to talk about it. So we want to build an epic lineup of guests. Our mission here is to bring massive attention, knowledge, the racers and the fans to the incredible world of BMX racing. We want to hear about your journey, your experiences, races, training, fitness, nutrition. Let's talk local racing, state, regional, nationals, UCI. If you've been there and done it, we want to know about it. We want to talk about it. So we're looking for the masters, the 50 and overs, such as myself, all right, the OGs, the guys that are still out there. A lot of these folks were at the beginning of time of BMX. We want to talk to you, the pros, elite BMX racers, the up-and-comers, the future elites, top experts, the backbone of the industry, the track operators. We want to talk to those track operators. We want to promote your tracks, team managers, race teams, sponsors, the innovators, right? Bicycle product manufacturers, the industry gearheads. While BMX racing's our main jam here, we'll at times get into mountain biking, four cross, adventure racing. If you love to ride, you belong on the show. You want to showcase some of your clips? If you got a 10 or 15-second clip of your team blasting down the first straight or snapping through the turns, send it over. All right, we want to showcase your banging bar moments on the show. All right, so how to apply? Send a brief message, a little background on you to info@kudagear.com or bangingbars@kudagear.com. Selected, we'll get back in touch with you with further details. We look forward to sharing these experiences with you. All right, so into our sponsors, Kuda Gear, where the thrill of the chase meets the grit of the grind. Kuda Gear, we know that winning comes with a solid foundation. Our company's built on the pillars of integrity, sport, and the relentless pursuit of better training, ensuring that every competition is met with peak performance and a sense of fun. Whether you're hitting the pavement or the dirt, we provide the gear that keeps you up with your ambition. Looking for more than just gear or equipment? If you're ready to find your pack and push your limits, Team Kuda Gear is the one. Join a community that values the spirit of the sport as much as the podium finish. Check us out at kudagear.com. That's KUDAGEAR.com. Kuda Gear Swift, fierce integrity in every rotation. And also brought to you by the Lab Studio Gym, Melbourne, Florida, where elite performance meets an unmatched community atmosphere. They're not your typical big box gym at the Lab. They've curated a state-of-the-art training environment that stays focused and never overcrowded, ensuring you have the space and the gear to dominate your session. Whether it's 2 a.m. or high noon, the 24/7 secure access facility is ready when you are. The coaching staff is their greatest asset. You'll be guided by a powerhouse team of experienced bodybuilder competitors, former NCAA athletes, and military veterans who bring discipline and real-world results to every workout. Plus, they take recovery as seriously as the lift, offering on-site massage therapy, saunas, and expert nutrition coaching to round out your transformation. Elevate your training and join a culture built on excellence located in Melbourne, Florida. Visit them at thelabstudiogym.com to get started. That's thelabstudiogym.com to get started. All right. Okay, let's move in. All right, so today, like I said, we talk a little bit more about different things. I thought I'd start off with something, somebody who's part of the team as well, a TKG, and this guy is an adventure racer. So he's going to talk to a little bit. So we're going to just do some back and forth Q&A with him, get a little idea what he does, how he does it, what he does to prepare for it. And also, this guy's a good friend of mine and a fellow teammate. and he looks like he is ready to get in. All right, we're going to let him in. He's going to join. Let's see here. All right, see if he's popping up. His device isn't accessible. See if we can let him in again. There you are. Yeah, there was a little delay there. It wasn't letting you in.
My computer's a little old and beat up, so
We can edit all that stuff out.
cool.
Yeah, so, all right. We've got Manuel Iglesias, also known as Iggy.
As Tony
All
T,
right.
how are you?
Yeah, good. How's everything?
It's good, man. It's good. Having
Yeah.
a lot of fun lately. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff on the horizon I'm excited about. So
How's work, man? You staying busy?
it's crazy. Too
All right,
busy. Too
cool.
busy.
Yeah, I did some stuff. I did a little intro for you too, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper into what you're doing,
Bring
how
it.
everything's going. Cool.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Let's see here. Let me get I can edit this stuff here. I'm all lost. Oh, here we go. Cool. All right. So, mind and muscle adventure racing. So, we're going to do a little background. All right. So, adventure racing, right? So, with that, you guys do running, mountain biking, and kayaking, right?
Yep, that's
And
correct.
so, you do like single day races, multi-day races. All right. So there's possibly some sleep deprivation in there as well too. So how'd you first get into adventure racing?
Well, I guess the road there was through like ultra marathons and just try. I don't know. I started getting into running, loved it, and started doing more and more distances, and then got into ultras, which is anything over 26.2 marathon, and then it kind of went downhill from there. I found a race called the Sea to Sea, which I was really interested in doing. You start on the west coast of Florida and you travel across the state via, like you said, running, mountain biking, and kayaking to the east coast. And I'd always been hesitant to do it, so I found some shorter races and had a lot to learn. And so I jumped into a short 6-hour adventure race and all downhill from there, really.
Yeah. So for those that are new to the sport or aren't sure what it's all about, so what's the difference between the adventure race, like as opposed to like a triathlon where you're doing multi-sport stuff? But there's a little difference, I think, right?
Yep, absolutely. So like you mentioned, running, biking, kayaking, but like the main backbone of adventure racing as a whole is land navigation. So marathons, ultra marathons, triathlons all have like set courses that you stay on and you know exactly where you're going. Adventure race, you get a set of maps at check-in and you have some rules, but for the most part you just have to find these checkpoints along the way wherever you're going, whether it be a set space that you're in or whether it be from point to point, and you make up your own route as you go. There's no GPS, there's no cell phone other than what you need for an emergency, and you got a map and a compass, and that's how you get around.
So there's no, like you said, no GPS, no electronic advantage. You're using old school paper and on a map, yeah.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah,
Oh,
that's which is a whole nother discipline in itself, which
yeah,
is a lot of
that's
fun.
cool. So, like for distances, what's the shortest race that you've done, and then the longest race as well?
The shortest one I've done is a 4-hour race. So they give you a window of time to collect as many checkpoints in each discipline as you can. Get back to the start within that window. So yeah, 4-hour race is the shortest I've done. I did that with my daughter. She was 9 when we did it. It was a ton of fun. She had a great time, and we're fixing to do it again here soon on Father's Day.
Cool. All right. So, can you see this picture I just popped up?
I don't think so, unfortunately.
No? Okay. I
Yeah,
just
I'm
put
on the
up one of
phone.
your pics that you sent me. It looks like you're at the start of a race there.
Mm,
And then you also sent, I think I got a picture that you did with your daughter, right? Got a picture of you and your
yes.
daughter
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Did they do kayaks and everything? You guys doing the same kayaks, or does she have her own kayak as well? Or
Yeah, we had a canoe for that one. So yeah, we just loaded up in a canoe and paddled down the river. I think that was Little Big Econ State Park, I think, Central
yeah,
Florida edge.
that's
Yeah,
right.
so
So we got to let everybody know where are you at right now? So I'm in
I'm the
England. So
yeah, a little time difference. Yeah, I'm on the east coast of Florida, a little south of Cocoa Beach area.
yeah,
So like near
got it. All
Melbourne.
right. So are you doing most of your races in Florida?
So far, yeah, I've ventured out up into Georgia done a race in Georgia. I actually have a race on June 13th in Columbia, South Carolina, which I'm looking forward to. It's a nice 12-hour
Sweet.
race up there. Yeah, yeah, so that'll be cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and then looking forward a little bit in October. I'm on a team. We're going to nationals in Bend, Oregon. So that'll
Okay.
be
Nice
quite.
trip, road trip there.
Yeah, yeah. Look at. I mean, just trip as a whole is going to be fun, but I mean, that's a whole new terrain for me.
So, you might have just mentioned, what's the longest race that you've done?
So it's February of 2026. It was supposed to be a 72-hour race, C to C race. Yep. Unfortunately, and tragically, about 30 hours in, one of the participants got hit and killed by a car on one of the
Oh,
roads. So just over 30 hours in, they suspended the race, which was definitely the right call to make. They brought all the racers in off the roads and got everybody to the finish line.
that's
So
tough.
great on the race organizers. Yeah. But, that's you ride bikes on the
Yeah, that
road,
is.
it's
There is
kind of
some
fun,
danger
but
to that stuff. That's for sure. You hate to see that.
certainly.
All
Yeah.
right. So,
So, yeah, so a little over 30 hours now is the record so far, so
so for let's get into some training. All right. So you got to balance like the running, the mountain bike, the kayaking part. So I'm sure there's some pretty big time commitments to that.
yeah,
So
yeah, certainly.
so like, are you training all the time, weekly, or you start training a specific time, like leading up to a race, or is there one discipline that you constantly train on?
Mhm. So if I think it varies. So I try to stay fit enough to, be I feel competitive enough in like a 12-hour race, really. Try to stay at that fitness level for the most part. And then if we're targeting a race, it's just kind of dependent on what the race looks like or what we think it's going to look like. So if it looks like long distances between transition areas or checkpoints that it might be bike heavy. We train really heavy on the bike. If there's some hard paddles that look like they're going to be involved in the race, then we train a little more heavy on the kayak. So, for instance, we're going to Bend. There's a lot of mountains, and coming from
Yeah,
Florida, we ain't got a lot of mountains. So, we're doing a lot of rucking on treadmills on an incline, finding bridges to
simulate
go up.
that elevation training.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. Beat the
yeah,
beat the legs up and get them ready
yeah,
to climb
definitely.
mountains. But it's a full week. You gotta do a good peanut butter spread between the disciplines. That
Yeah,
eats up a lot of
that's a good
time.
way to put it. Yeah, that's a good way. Where do you do your kayaking at? Just like the Indian River or something?
Yeah, yep. Yeah, let's grab a kayak, throw it in the river. We have access, where I work to a
Yeah.
reasonable amount of kayaks and a good little launch. So yeah, throw it in and go paddle for a little bit and jump out. You know.
Yeah, mountain biking. So, what's a typical ride for your mountain bike when you're putting in the time? Like one leg, like if you're on the mountain bike leg in a race, what's that typical distance for like one leg that you'll do?
Yeah, it can definitely vary. So we'll take, for example, the C to C, so we had to kind of quickly transition from, the west-ish coast to central Florida for the most part. And, the legs were roughly 80 to 90 miles, on the roads, just biking, just hitting it hard. And the race directors do a good job of spreading checkpoints where they need to be. So you can put a lot of miles in on the bike and have like a target to get to.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when you're training, are you putting in those miles on the mountain bike or a road bike, or you do both? You mix it up, or can you get that
Yeah, I
many
try to
miles in?
try to split it. So, the long rides, I like to get on an actual bike, on a mountain bike on trails if I can. And then, throw an indoor bike on it and try to get some like resistance work or hill work because, again, we got a lot of hills down here. So,
Yeah, sure.
we crank up the level on the indoor bike and just try to get the legs ready.
Now, so you mentioned the navigation and orienteering part of that. Is there? Did you already know how to do that? Did you learn? Were you like a Boy Scout or something when you're younger, or is it something that you figured out you learned on your own? And because you
Yeah,
definitely got to
I
know how to
was.
do it, right?
Yes, yeah, there's a lot of skills to learn in that regard, and I didn't know diddly squat about land nav prior to. I was in the Air Force, and you know how much land nav we kind of get for basic in there. But yeah, so wanted
Zero.
to learn, big old goose egg. But yeah, so there's a book out there. It's called Squiggly Lines, and it gives you a pretty good rundown of maps and how to read them, and then it gets you into like basic navigation. And there's YouTube videos, of course, as always. There's a guy called Adam Rose. His channel's AR on AR, and he breaks down adventure racing to like the minute details that you need to know, and just fantastic information. And so, through all those things, and then finally just saying, you know what, I'm going to go sign up solo for a race because I don't know anybody that wants to do this yet, and we'll see what happens. And
Yeah.
uh,
So on the team piece of that, like the team dynamic, when you do like the shorter races, is it just you or do you have teams and do relays or do you just do it on your own?
so again, initially, I really didn't know anybody getting into it, so it was straight up solo. And then you meet people at the races, similar to the ultra running community and trail running community. People are really great to each other, and they want to see people get better, and they want to teach you things. And so I got brought into a group, like mainly out of Jacksonville, Florida, and they've been great. And they take you on board, and so now I have a team to sign up with, and it's good having people to bounce things off of and learn from them. And you're a passenger for a while, so you can bring something to the team. So
Cool. Cool. So I've got a picture that you sent over that's coming up and looks like your team, there's five of you, including yourself. There's five of you. Yeah. One, two, three. Yeah. And is that the C to C race? It looks like. And that was your team, the five of you, or are these other guys, a different
yep,
team?
yeah, no, it was five of us. So we had two teams, a team of three and a team of two.
Okay.
Yep. And so we stayed together for the race, just to try it. So we did a few trainings together. There was one of the guys in there. His name's Carl. I jokingly call him the godfather of adventure racing down here. He's been doing it for a long time, and he knows a lot
Yeah.
about the sport. So yeah, he's a bit of a mentor, teaching the nuance of adventure racing.
So this is the one that you guys, you got about 30 hours into it and then where they had to call it, right, for that incident.
Yes.
And then, so during that 30 hours, was there any sleep? How do you sleep? Do you got to be tired. It's
Yeah.
constantly
So
going.
for up until that point, we hadn't slept. We were just grinding through, getting done what we can. Our sleep plan was to bring a sleeping mat with us, similar to like a little camping mat. And when it was time, just kind of throw it down and catch a few winks and then get back on the bike or back in the kayak and go back to work. So but yeah, we stayed up that whole 30 hours and change during that part of the race though.
Wow. Are you guys all going at the same time as well too, as a group? Or do you spread out or do you
Yeah,
stop and then hand off the baton type of thing? It's not like a relay, right? You're going as a
gotcha.
whole group, right?
Yeah, so there can be something similar to that. You start off as a team though, and sometimes, depending on the race director, they put in what's called an O course relay or an orienteering course relay, which is the discipline of land nav, really. And so there's a set area and checkpoints that you can go out by yourself and leave the rest of your team behind, or go out as a duo if you want to go capture these
Right.
points, and then come back in. And it's smart because it's kind of built-in rest for the team. So you got one guy out or two guys out collecting these checkpoints in a given area, and then the rest of the team's kind of gearing down and trying to catch a couple winks while
Do you
you're out
guys
there.
have like comms or anything, like two-way radios, or no? You just gotta
They do. Yeah,
we'll
we
meet you
do
at the next
carry
stop.
trackers. Yeah, yeah, we carry trackers sometimes, so they know where the team's at for the most part.
Right.
And so who's ever doing the O course will wear that tracker. And occasionally they have TV screens up to where you can see like what your teammates doing or where they're at out on the course. And that can be fun too, because if you know your guy's not going to the right checkpoint and kind of crisscrossing back and forth across the course, you can give him a hard time when he gets back. So
He's doing putting the extra miles in, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Just
what it
how to
is.
get a quick marathon in the middle of a 72-hour race. Why not?
So you sent me this one pic. I'm possibly I think you're probably packing for that 72-hour race. It's got your food. It's got some sleeping gear. Can you see the pic?
I can't, unfortunately, but I
Okay,
know which
no
one you're
worries.
talking
But you
about.
know which
Yeah.
one. Okay, got it. So when it
Yep.
comes to like nutrition and things like that, so I mean, obviously you're hitting the carbs pretty hard and things like that just to stay up on the carbos, all right?
Certainly.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, like with all the calories you're burning, what's your main like go-to piece of nutrition that you guys are hitting out there?
So
Looks like you got all kinds of stuff there.
yeah, there's a bunch of snacks and good stuff, and that's really not even all of the food that we kind of packed. So you have a bin at these long expedition length races. I should have explained that before. And the length of the races, it can be sport, intermediate, up to expedition, which is a multi-day race. And so those longer ones, you can pack a bin and you can put extra food in that bin or extra gear, whatever you need. But yeah, with the food, as you try to plan, of course, for later in the race. So you have freeze dried meals that you can, quickly get some boiled water from a jet boil and pour in, throw it in your pack, let it cook, and then eat it on the way.
Okay,
Or
good thinking.
yeah, yeah, different kind of freeze dried stuff or trail mix. But at this one, at the beginning of the race, we actually went out and bought like 5 cheeseburgers from McDonald's a piece and threw them in the pack for the first day.
Those
And
things will
that's
like last for like a couple years, I think.
they're pretty solid, yeah.
So you're just good to
And
go.
yeah, and I'll tell you what,
Could
that
have used them.
that
You can use
burst,
for your Georgia race, same ones. Just save
just
them,
throw them back in the pack.
keep those things.
I don't know, we ate them all, Yeah,
So
so
how
that was
about water? I mean, do they have stations where you can refill?
yeah, so in during these longer races where there's no, like, natural water source to kinda get your water, they will have water staged at the transition areas along the way, which are, like, mandatory points that you have to get to. We also carry like purification tablets in case you get lost
Yeah,
and you're out in the woods and you got to figure it out. Or there's races like nationals in Oregon where they have a lot of natural water sources, so you can kind of go light on your water and go find water during the race. And so it's really dependent, and that's what's like the coolest thing about adventure racing. I think is it's totally dependent on location, the terrain,
that's
there's
good
all
because
these
it
factors you have to take
yeah,
into.
you're not relying on the race to provide you resources to a certain extent, right? So it's
Sure.
on you, like yeah, kind of survival pretty much as well.
Yep,
Yeah,
very
that's
true.
cool, man. So when it comes to gear, you sent me a pic of your bike here. Let's see, that thing's popping up. So yeah, you got the full suspension there.
Yep. Yeah, and I'll call it the paint saver. You
Yeah,
can edit that out if
it's
you need
pretty
to.
sweet, man.
Thank
Is
you.
that
Yeah.
carbon or aluminum?
No,
The
it's
frame.
aluminum. She'll
Yeah,
take a beating.
yeah,
Yeah, she's a good
carbon.
bike. Yeah, I mean, I think like the best setup's probably, a cross country style bike. So a little, short travel forks, short travel rear end. That one, I replaced the fork. So it's got a little bit of more fork travel, but she's a good
Okay.
bike. She'll get it done. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And the wheel setup, are those tubes or are those tubeless?
tubeless.
Okay. All right.
All
So you like
tubeless. Yep.
carry a little patch kit. Yeah, those are easy to patch when if they have you ever ran into any equipment like issues with the bike in the races where you had to do some repairs?
Y like, during the race, I've been pretty fortunate where I haven't had a big mechanical I had to worry about, but, like, one of the first races I did where I was running solo, where I met some of this crew that I race with now. We were camped you set up your camp kinda in a big grassy area where you're parked, and I had gotten done with the bike and coming back in ready to go back out on a paddle, and the crew that we were parked next to came in, and I hear them kind of chatting, and they're bummed. One of the guy's front tires are just is blown out, and he has no idea what happened. Sometimes crap happens. You're not really sure. So, but to work through that, I lent them my bike. I was already done with the bike, and so they were able to get back on the road. So it's kind of again like a big community thing where you help each other out. You
Yeah,
want
that's
others
cool.
to succeed for the most part. And yeah,
Awesome. That's cool, man. Awesome, man. I was going to show you a pic of one of my bikes I built up, but you can't
yeah,
see the
you got some
pics.
you got some stunners out there for
I
sure.
built a new 24-inch. It's an old school, but it's a new build. Like it's not actually from the '80s, but it's the same design and everything. They remanufactured them. So I got a Skyway. I don't know if I sent you that pic, man. It's my 24-inch Skyway. I went full
Uh,
on.
is that the all
Got the
chrome one?
Yeah. Did I send you a pic of
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I
Oh
saw
yeah.
that thing.
So
That
I
thing's
got to race that a few times. I raced for a club down here, Royston BMX, just south of Cambridge, and so I was able to race it a few times. last month, and I tweaked my knee again. So
Gosh,
yeah, it's just like giving me a little bit of problems. So I had to stop, man. A little pissed off. I was hoping to race regionals over here and stuff like that, but yeah,
it
sucks, man.
happened.
But I'll
Get
be
you healthy
coming.
again.
Yeah, I'll be back to Florida 20th, I think, towards the end of June, and I got to get my knee surgery. So yeah, so I'm
Go
gonna
to
be
the
out.
old mechanic shop.
I'll be out of racing for a little bit. So, but cool, man. So
Okay, well,
future stuff, man. I know you mentioned some races, so you're going to be up in Georgia, and that's what next month, right? Not too far
yeah,
from now. Yeah,
South Carolina. Yep, up a little further. Like, cool thing
yeah,
about that race.
Columbia. Yeah, my
Uh,
bad,
yep.
Columbia.
I don't know. Yeah, and
Yeah, cool.
cool thing about that race is the gentleman who got hit during that C2C race. This is like a benefit race for him. His hometown was Columbia, South Carolina. So like half the proceeds of the race are going to his kids for the college funds and everything. So
That's great.
yeah, it's cool. Again, like a good community coming together to support the guy and his family.
And then off to, is it the next one to Portland, or you got anything in between that and Portland?
Yeah, so South Carolina on the 13th, and then the following week, Father's Day weekend is
That's
the
right.
Father's Day adventure race, and that's just here in Central Florida. I got my kid coming to that one again.
Cool. That'll be a blast,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
super fun. It's a ton of fun. Yeah, and if
Yeah.
anybody's like scared or worried, like you're not going to be able to do it, just sign up, like get the gear, sign up, and just hook up with somebody out there that knows what they're doing, and they'll be more than happy to teach you. I guarantee it, because
Yeah.
it's
That's
a good
cool.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, the bicycle community, especially, I mean, it's more than just bicycles, but anything like any competitions and stuff have the bike. I know that the bicycle community is everybody supportive. All these
Mhm.
events, the triathlons are like that. The BMX
Yeah.
racing, probably some of the most supportive people I've run into, nicest folks as well. So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
good to know, man. So
Good
awesome. Well,
times.
hey, I don't know if I got any more questions. I'm sure we can come up with some
That,
more stuff, but
that's all right. Yeah, we'll
awesome.
figure it out.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you coming on the show. This is our first show. Hopefully, it's not our last one.
hope not.
All right.
Get back and
Okay.
talk about you next time. All right.
Yeah. All right. But that's cool, man. So, yeah. So, all the best. Let me know. Obviously, keep me up to date on some results, how everything's going. Great
Will
to
do.
follow up on that stuff. But thanks again for being on the show. And
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's cool to talk about all this stuff, and I think it's pretty awesome what you're doing too, Tony. It's cool.
cool, man. Yeah.
Enjoy
Hopefully,
the
it
time.
works out, man. I hope people start tagging on to this, and we can get a lot of folks that help promote the sports and stuff like that. That's huge. All right. This
That's
is a
fun.
good platform for everybody. So, all
Yeah,
right,
man.
Iggy. Thanks
All right.
again. All the best. We'll talk at you later.
Sounds good.
I'll see you in a few weeks, probably.
All right. We'll be here.
All right, bro. All right, man.
Be good. Travel safe.
Cheers. All right.
Safe.
Later. Bye. I think
Peace.
maybe. Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. So that was a good interview, huh? Cool. All right. Let's see what's on the race schedule for June. We got some upcoming races, and this is all around. This is not just USA or anything like this. I try and look to see who's racing, where they're racing. This is BMX racing. So on the UCI circuit, we got some World Cup races coming up. Sarrions, France, June 6th through the 7th. You got Pampendal, the Netherlands, June 13th to the 14th. European World Championships, Sarrions, France as well. That's June 24th to the 28th. Here in the UK, you got the National Series, rounds 7 and 8 in Cardiff coming up July 4th and the 5th. UK Regional Series, that's in full swing. Check your local club calendars. I'm sure you're up following that stuff, or British Cycling BMX calendar for all the dates. You'll find everything on and what you need to find out for dates and where they're at, locations on that site. USA, busy month in June for nationals in the US. You got the Spring Nationals, Duke City BMX, Albuquerque, New Mexico, June 5th through the 7th. You got Palmetto Nationals, Lexington BMX in Lexington, South Carolina, June 12th through the 14th. You get the Midwest Nationals, Rockford BMX, Rockford, Illinois, June 19th through the 21st. And you got the Lumberjack Nationals, Emerald Valley BMX, Eugene, Oregon, June 26th and the 28th. Good luck to all those folks, all the participants that are going to be out there for that too. And I think, you know what, that's the end of our show here. We're going to wrap it up. Once again, I hope if you like it, let us know. And if you're interested in getting on the show, please reach out. Okay. And we'll see if we can get you on the show. We want to help you promote your product, your track, your bikes, anything. We'll talk about some folks that are racing and things like that too. Just really get some info out there for everybody to enjoy. All right. So that's a wrap for today on Bangin' Bars podcast. Thanks for our guest too, for Iggy coming on. I think that was a good time. And thanks everybody for listening. Please, we'll push this out on YouTube, so you'll find it out there. So until next time, keep your wheels spinning and your passion racing.